Now, please, it's important, very important. Everything is important, but I'm telling you, the number of questions from MCQ, from your long question, it can be your short question, and different muscles and ligaments which come in to make up the joint, knee joint. You have to, and see, you please also, there are some muscles in the, that goes up to the knee. Okay. Now, what are the type of knee joint? Describe the knee joint under the following heads. Type, articular surfaces, ligaments, bursa, relation, movements, and applied aspect. You, any component, any chapter you are covering or any question you are covering, you have to see in this format. So you can, it can be, what are the bursas? What are the ligaments? What are the, it's what type of joint? Now, make a small head and then you keep on revising. Now it's a process of revision coming, you have your exams knocking at the door. Now, knee joint is the largest and most complex joint in the body. It is formed by the medial and lateral condyles of the femur, tibia and patella. It is the major weight-bearing joint in the body, hence the must be stress joint in the body. It has three articulations, medial tibiofemoral, lateral tibiofibular, and third patellofemoral joint, hence it's a complex joint. So type, the knee joint is classified. Modified hinge variety of synovial joints permits flexion and extension. Condylar joint, as it involves medial and lateral tibiofibular articular joints. Complex joint, as its joint cavity is partially divided by meniscus. Compound joint, as femur, tibia and patella participate in the formation. Patellofemoral joint is a plain synovial joint. So, most of the variety of the joints, first see, many questions can come. Simple MCQ, a short note on the menisci, or describing the upper end of the tibia with the attachments of the knee joint. Okay. Now this is a flow sheet, and you see type and classification: modified, hinge, synovial, condylar, complex, compound. Articular surfaces: condyles of the femur, tibial condyles, patella. Now patellar surface, tibial surface, intercondylar surface. Now tibial condyles, lateral condyles, medial condyle, intercondylar area, patella, posterior articular surface. I showed you in the demonstration in the your demo room when I described the upper end in the anterior portion, describing the upper end of the tibia. So even I showed you in the skeleton, with the skeleton, how the femur moves and forms the knee joint. Okay. And we have wonderful the bones. So please look into it whenever you get your time in your revision. Articular surfaces. A knee joint is the articulation between femur, tibia and patella. And condyles of femur, the medial and lateral condyles articular surface of femur participate in the knee joint. It is patellar and tibial articular surface. Patellar articular surfaces, it covers the anterior surface of both the condyles and is separated from the tibial articular surface by faint groove. It extends more on the lateral condyles. Tibial articular surface, it covers the inferior and posterior surface of both the femoral condyles and is separated from each other by intercondylar notch. Tibial condyles. Tibia has two condyles, lateral and medial condyles. The superior surface of the medial condyle has small smooth facet, whereas the superior surface of lateral condyle has circular articular facet. Intercondylar facet area has intercondylar eminence with medial and lateral condylar tubercles. Now the patellar articular surface, the upper 3/4 surface of the patella is articular, that is divisible by a vertical line into larger and smaller medial area. This medial area is further subdivided into narrow medial strip, larger, longer lateral area. Most of the time what is happening that you are studying the hip bone, you are studying femur, you are studying your tibia, fibula, even you are studying more tibia but less of the fibula. You see, but for describing any joint in the lower limbs, you have to know in detail the bones. This is one precondition. And patella, which you have been neglecting, please take the patella bone we have in the dissection hall, and you see it and you see the detail, that which surface, which area, and what is the ridge. The lateral is more medial, like that. You just draw a big figure, big half of your khata, and you draw the patella. The anterior surface, one half posterior surface. Then you go into the detail how this is described. And one thing is that, see, it is prone to injury. And depending on the type of injury, you have to manage the case. The orthopedic surgeon puts a K wire depending on the type of fracture. And if it is multiple fractures, then they do a patelectomy. They remove the whole patella. Now, see, this is the part, this is the medial condyle, patellar articular surface, this is the patellar articular surface, tibial articular surface, lateral condyle. Okay, the posterior view, this is the posterior view, this is the anterior view. Lateral condyle, intercondylar area, medial condyle, superior view, and femoral articular surface, posterior view of patella. This is the femoral in this area. Patellar articular surface. See, this patella has to accommodate and adjust. Then can it move freely. That's why you see it just, if you turn it, it will come into this place. Now, see, a question. Describe the ligaments of the knee joint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. So our main aim is, I told you, now examination oriented. Of course, if you have the time, then go for more information. But if you go to this, you will get 70 or 80% if you can reproduce this portion. Now, just I'll run through. The capsular ligament and synovial membrane, the knee joint is supported by the following ligaments: the capsular ligament and synovial membrane. Ligamentum surface, tibial collateral ligament, fibular collateral ligament, oblique popliteal ligament. Anterior, now this is important, every part is important, but anterior and posterior cruciate ligament, arcuate popliteal ligament, medial and lateral menisci, transverse ligament. It will question 6 marks. Okay, you draw and you illustrate and just put in points. Yeah. See, this is the semi-membranous, this tibial collateral ligament, oblique popliteal ligament, this is oblique popliteal ligament, capsule of the knee joint, this is the capsule of the knee joint, the arcuate popliteal ligament, this is the popliteus, and the fibular collateral ligament here. Now, capsular ligament, oblique popliteal and arcuate popliteal ligaments. Right posterior view, the capsular ligament of knee joint is deficient anteriorly, where it is replaced by quadriceps femoris, patella and ligamentum patelli. You see your own knee, you lift up and see your own knee, the patella position of this thing. That is why it is deficient there, and it is replaced by now, see, the capsular ligament of the knee joint is deficient anteriorly, where it is replaced by quadriceps femoris, patella and ligamentum patelli. Posteriorly, the capsule gives passage to the tendon of popliteus. This is the tendon of the popliteus. Now, attachment, femoral attachment, it is attached half to 1 centimeter beyond the articular margins. Posteriorly, it is attached to the intercondylar line and includes the intercondylar fossa. And tibial attachment, it is attached half to 1 centimeter beyond the articular margins. Anteriorly, the capsule includes the tibial tuberosity, and posteriorly it is attached to the intercondylar ridge. Now, patellar attachment, the capsule is attached to the margins of the patellar articular surface, except superiorly where it is attached to the tendon of quadriceps femoris, and it is attached to the ligamentum patelli inferiorly. Synovial membrane, it is lines and aspect the fibrous capsule, it gives extension to cover cruciate ligaments and intrapatellar pad of fat. Ligamentum patelli, it is a strong, thick fibrous band which is continuation of the tendon of quadriceps muscles, femoris. It extends from apex of the patella to the tibial tuberosity. It stabilizes and prevents displacement of the patella. Now, if you see all the movements you do, you just sit down and you just you sit and then, okay, put your hand here and you can see like this. You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it. See lower limbs, the movements, all the movement in the hip joint, flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, rotation, these you have to know. And the components which is making up this joint, you have to know. Meniscal injury, the function of the popliteus, what is locking and unlocking of the joint. These are common. You are describing very nicely. The examiner then asks you, what is the function of the popliteus? What is the other name for popliteus? Now, tibial collateral ligament. Yeah. If you see your book, you will see that this diagram is represented by lines. So it's coming from the hip bone and also the femur. Now this is the tibial collateral ligament, medial meniscus, this is the medial meniscus. Medial view, this is the medial view. Okay, now this is semitendinous, gracilis, sartorius. If in Viva, or it can be, uh, what is the tailor's muscle? Because the tailor sits and it just go swing. Not only hand, but like this. So that strap of muscle that is over here attached, that is more active in the knee joint. When a tailor is sitting and tailoring any garment or any design he wants to embroidery, of course, these machines are being replaced by your electric motorized machines. These, whatever motif you are having in your kurti or your sarees and all, blouse and all, that is actually the machine is doing it. And but the anatomy lesson doesn't change. But I'm just putting in that it's a tailor's muscle. You don't be blank. Okay. Now, now see this picture. You just today you go and finish knee joint by just taking one figure for half page, lateral medial or medial, whatever you have it, you put it in your page today, the whole knee joint. Only the figures you draw and label. I'm telling you, that you experiment, I'm saying. This exam, you will experiment with, of course, ratna hai, padna hai, dekhna hai. And also, you have to study in groups. So when anyone says, नहीं, tailor muscle किसको बोलता है, public किसको बोलता है. So you correct your friend. Now the tibial collateral ligament is strong and thick ligament that has superficial and deep parts. Superficial parts extend from the medial epicondyle of the femur and to the upper part of the medial border adjoining posterior part of the medial surface of the tibia. This is the medial surface of the tibia. See? Here. And this is semitendinous, gracilis and sartorius. This is ligament of Patley, quadriceps tendon. Now deep part blends with the capsule. It extends from medial condyle of the femur to the medial condyle of the tibia above the group for semimembranous. This is the semi. Now see fibular collateral ligament. Actually, in the fibular, the neck, that's a nerve coming down, and you just be in discussion that this is the lateral meniscus, and this is the tendon of the popliteus. It is attached in the small pit in the femur and comes here. And I told you the previous picture, see. Here, the popliteus. Here, the arcuate popliteal ligament. This is the fibula and fibular collateral ligament here. Now I'll go to this. Don't see. So you can get a picture how the things are being attached, the conjoint action of the lower end of the femur and also the upper end of the tibia. because it might be a 10 marks question, but you have to write elaborately. But you quickly draw the diagrams and then label. So if you are short of time, then you can at least impress the examiner that he has done it, he's learnt it. But don't give a plain sheet. And whenever you are studying, not alone, your roommate or this thing, don't have ego, shed your ego. And don't go into hibernation. Everyone, even the latecomers, I would suggest that whatever you learnt these 1 month, 15 days or 10 days, some people came, 5 students came just 5 days back. They joined, last counseling. So you just sit, you can approach, you just approach and see what's happening. And when you're writing an answer script, don't look into your neighbor, don't look in front, don't look in back. You just go on your own work. Because you cannot gauge Mr. X or Mrs. X. You cannot study the brain. You can study, but in the examination hall, you cannot, even if you ask ChatGPT, what is my friend doing? So you do your own lessons, you please draw these type of illustrations and see, this is the fibular collateral ligament is a strong cord-like ligament. It extends from lateral epicondyle of the femur and just posterior to the origin of the popliteus. And I showed you the tendon of popliteus here, the origin here, to the origin of popliteus to the lateral subhead of the fibula. Now, cruciate ligament, but it can be a short note, 4 marks. Okay, then these are strong cord-like fibrous bands and arranged like a letter X. These ligaments extend between tibia and femur. They are as follows. Anterior cruciate ligament, it extends from the anterior part of the intercondylar area of tibia to the posterior part of the medial surface of the lateral condyle of femur. From the anterior part of the intercondylar area to tibia to the posterior part of the medial surface of the lateral condyle of femur. Posterior cruciate ligament, it extends from the posterior part of the intercondylar area of the tibia to the anterior part of the lateral surface of the medial condyle of the tibia. Menisci or semilunar cartilage. These are 2 crescent-shaped fibrocartilages cartilages found between the articular surface of the tibia and femur. Medial meniscus is semilunar and lateral meniscus is circular. Each menisci has 2 ends, anterior and posterior end. They are attached to the intercondylar area of the tibia. Yeah. This is the picture you have to, when you are at least 4 pictures describing the menisci, describing your lateral meniscus, lateral posterior horn, anterior horn. This is the posterior horn, this is the anterior horn, this is the ligamentum patella. See, you just draw like this and then you go on marking. And now, see the posterior cruciate ligament, the transverse ligament, these two menisci here, and see the lateral meniscus anterior horn, the lateral meniscus posterior horn, and anterior cruciate ligament, medial meniscus anterior horn, and transverse ligament is here, ligamentum patella. Now, see, this is semimembranous tibial collateral ligament, oblique popliteal ligament, and capsule of the knee joint. This is the fibular collateral ligament, this is the popliteus muscle. Now, oblique popliteal ligament, oblique popliteal Burgeri ligament is an expansion of the tendon of semimembranous. This semimembranous, this. And extension, it runs upwards and laterally and blends with the posterior aspect of the capsule. This is, yeah. Now, attachment, superior intercondylar line and lateral condyle of the femur, inferior posterior margin of the medial condyle of the tibia. This. Now, it is arcuate popliteal ligament. It is posterior expansion from the short lateral ligament. It is Y-shaped. Yeah. Arcuate popliteal ligament is Y-shaped. Now, attachment stem of the ligament is attached to the head of the fibula. Large posterior band is attached to the intercondylar area of tibia. Small anterior limb passes deep to the fibular collateral ligament and attached to the lateral condyles. Transverse ligament, transverse meniscal ligament connects the anterior ends of the medial and lateral meniscus and connects the anterior and transverse meniscal ligament connects the anterior ends of the medial and lateral menisci. It is present only in 58% of individual, 58%. Coronary ligament, coronary or meniscotibial. The meniscotibial a part of the joint capsule extends from margin of the meniscus to the periphery of the tibial condyles. Now, some interesting facts. Synovial membrane gives extension that forms suprapatellar bursa and infrapatellar synovial fold. This infrapatellar fold is a triangular median extension that extends upwards and backwards from the pad of the fat to intercondylar fossa of the femur. The ligamentum patellae is about 7.5 centimeters long and 2.5 centimeters broad. It is lying superficial to the interpatellar bursa and deep to the prepatellar bursa. It blends with the medial and lateral patellar retinicular, which are extension of vastus medialis and vastus lateralis muscle respectively. Tibial collateral ligament, superficial part 10 centimeters. Now, tibial collateral ligament, superficial part 10 centimeters long and 2.5 centimeters broad, is separated from the capsule by bursa. Lower portion of this part is crossed medially, superficially by the tendons of sartorius, gracilis and semitendinous. That figure I showed you, that in the portion the muscles are coming, semimembranous, semitendinous, gracilis, sartorius, all these muscles. Now, morphologically, the tibial collateral ligament represents the generated tendon of adductor magnus muscle. Fibular collateral ligament, it splits the tendon of biceps femoris into two slips that are attachment to the head of the fibula. It is separated from the capsule by inferior lateral genicular vessels and nerves. The blood supplying the knee joint. There are wonderful pictures of blood supply of the knee joint. A question, short question, around 6 marks, not 2 marks, but 6 to 10 even. It can come. That your morphologically the tibial collateral ligament represents the degenerated tendon of adductor magnus. Adductor magnus. Fibular collateral is split in tendon of biceps femoris into two slips at their attachment at the head of the fibula. It is separated from capsule by inferior lateral genicular vessels and nerves. Morphologically, the fibular collateral ligament represents the degenerated attachment of peroneus longus. Oblique popliteal ligament forms a part of the floor of the popliteal fossa. It is related to the popliteal artery. It is pierced by middle genicular vessels and nerves and terminal part of the posterior division of the obturator nerve. Now, the cruciate ligaments are two strong cord-like ligaments that are arranged in the letter X, hence named cruciate. These are anterior and posterior cruciate ligament. Relationship with capsule and synovial membrane. Cruciate ligaments are intracapsular, however, they remain external to the synovial cavity. Intracapsular, extrasynovial. Intracapsular but extrasynovial. The cruciate ligaments are named anterior or posterior based on their attachment of the tibia. Anterior cruciate ligament, ACL. Now, all the books are having ACL, but when you are writing, you write ACL if you are in a hurry, but anterior cruciate ligament, you write in words. Don't be putting all short forms. Now this is very important. Proximal posterior part of the medial surface, the lateral condyle of the femur. Distal, it runs upwards, backwards and laterally from tibia to femur. Function, it is taut during extension of the knee and prevents the hyperextension of the knee joint. So it is taut, tight inside. But it doesn't, it pulls. So it prevents hyperextension. Because see, these ligaments are vulnerable for players, dancers, all this. So you don't know actually most of the times what happens. Like if you play or you go to the gym and all, people at a later age have problems of the knee. So this is one thing. Second thing is that the cruciate ligament injuries are there, common. Anterior dislocation, it prevents anterior dislocation of the tibia, posterior dislocation of the femur. The anterior dislocation of the tibia and posterior dislocation of the femur. That means there is violent injury is there. But one thing I tell you, you are wearing a dress of 5,000 rupees, but your shoes is 150 rupees. You are putting makeup and all this, but you're not looking up, you're not looking down to your foot. So at least in 15 days you do it self pedicure for everyone, male or female. Pedicure means only your wife will do, your girlfriend will do it. It's not that. You don't put a nail polish, but if you want to prevent some dirt to go inside, then you could do just a transparent nail polish. You don't color it. Okay. Now, the posterior cruciate ligament PCL attachments. Anyway, if you are in a hurry, you are drawing a picture of the knee joint, you ACL, PCL, এসব করে দেবে. Okay, to memorize, then you do ACL, PCL, you use. I'm not against it, but if you are having the time, then you go for a full form. If you don't have the time, ACL, PCL, you just write. Your examiner will understand. But don't leave any page blank. Because any content, say if a patient is complaining of pain and this thing, by clinical observation, you can diagnose to some extent. Similarly, when we are correcting the copies, we know that overall this student is eligible for 60%. And one thing I'm telling you, when you are drawing figures in your examination, don't go on coloring and this thing. First question, say 20 marks. Some examiner gives 18. He's written so much elaborate and color and all this. But as I go on, that's my experience, things fade out. So you put equal stress for all questions. Don't color like Vishwabharati artist or Calcutta Art College artist. Posterior cruciate ligament attachment, proximal, anterior part of the lateral surface of the medial condyle of femur, distal, posterior part of the intercondyle area of tibia. Direction, it runs upwards, forwards and medially from tibia to femur. Function, PCL is taut during flexion and knee, PCL prevents. Anterior dislocation of the tibia, posterior dislocation of the tibia on femur. It prevents hyperflexion of the knee joint. Blood and nerve supply, cruciate ligaments are mainly supplied by middle genicular artery and nerve. The repetition, knee menisci and cruciate ligament. See, this is the posterior cruciate ligament. Every book has the same pictures. Some might be in color or something like that. But my thing is that whatever you go for surgery, medicine, anything, you just illustrate. Have a small figure. Even when you write a prescription, when you become you're doing our clinics, if you are asked to write a prescription in the outdoor, you try to draw a figure. The clinical integration, injury to the cruciate ligament, anterior cruciate ligament gets more commonly injured than posterior cruciate ligament. Anterior cruciate ligament injuries range from mild sprain to complete tear of the ligament. It usually occurs in violent hyperextension of knee by athletes such as football or soccer players. It causes pain, swelling and instability of the knee joint. Draw sign. If the tibia gets pulled forward or backward more than normal, the test is considered positive. See, this putting in posterior. And if the tibia gets pulled forwards and backwards more than normal, the test is considered positive. Draw a sign. This can be a short note and 2 marks or 4 marks. Okay. Now, in anterior cruciate ligament injury, tibia can be pulled excessively forward on the femur. This is called anterior draw sign. In posterior cruciate ligament injury, tibia can be pushed excessively backward over the femur. This is called posterior draw sign here. See, anterior draw sign. See, the ligament is torn, ruptured. This cruciate ligament, and this see posterior ruptured. Now, menisci of knee joint, menisci or semilunar cartilage are crescent shaped and in disc of cartilage that is between the articular surface of tibia and fibula. Structure, there are two menisci, medial and lateral. They have thick peripheral part and thin inner border. Each menisci is having two ends, two borders, two surfaces. So two ends, each menisci having two ends or horns, anterior horn and posterior horn. They are attached in the intercondylar area of the tibia. Two borders, the outer border is thicker and convex and forced to and fixed to the fibrous capsule. The inner border of thin, concave and free. Two surfaces, the upper surface is concave and lower surface is flat. Medial meniscus is nearly semilunar shaped. It is wider behind than in the front. It has an anterior posterior horn and it is attached to the intercondylar area. It is lateral margin, is adherent to the capsule and ligament. Now see, these menisci are all lateral margin of the capsule. That's why there are meniscal injury in the knee when you are playing football or suddenly you are running and making a sweep, you get fixed. Okay. Now in this context, so you have to see nowadays you can, let me, the lateral meniscus, now nutrition, peripheral parts of the menisci are vascular, most of the part of the menisci is vascular and receive nutrition by diffusion. By function, meniscus increases the concavity of the tibial condyles for better congruence with femoral condyles. Now, it is like this. Now, you are seeing it from this, from upper end. Now, if you look into the cartilage, it is, you cut like this. Now what you will see? If you see the surfaces of the tibia and the femur, now it has to be a gliding movement. Naturally, these surfaces has to be these are cushioning effects. Plus, it has to, the way the femur and tibia evolved from quadruped to erect posture. Naturally, that has to be balanced. It is not like this. It's not. It's not like a block. It is not like a block. You see, if you the knee joint is opened, then you see it. What is the shape of the cartilage, and it has there is a science behind it. It's a science behind it that it has to glide and accommodate accordingly the congruency of the both surfaces of the tibia and the lower end of the tibia and the upper end of lower end of the femur and the upper end of the tibia. that is forming the knee joint. Now, what is the function? Menisci increase the concavity of the tibial condyles for better congruence with the femoral condyles. Shock absorption, lubrication of knee joint, proprioception and pain sensation, protection of articular surface and redistribution of force during weight transition. There is a physics behind also. In locomotion, there is a science. Like you are running like this you are running. Then slow. See a marathon and a sprinter. Marathon runner, he jogs and goes. But Bolt, 100 meters in 9 seconds. In 9 minutes. And he's typical sign like this. After finishing going into the tape, he now again these are all, see, I told you, I showed you this. This meniscotibial compartment. That's why any injury is there, there will be a big swelling. Sometimes hemoarthrosis, blood in the joint cavity. There you have to aspirate. And also there can be knee joint swelling in some pathological condition. Previously tuberculosis was very common, tubercular arthritis. Now, lateral meniscus bears lead during weight transmission. Meniscofemoral ligament, these are two ligaments that connect the posterior horn of the lateral meniscus to the medial condyle of the femur. It's a repetition again. Now, anterior meniscofemoral ligament or ligament of Humphrey. Ligament of Humphrey, that can be a short question, MCQ. Okay? Now, passes in front of the posterior cruciate ligament. Posterior meniscofemoral ligament, ligament of Winsberg. It is passes behind the posterior cruciate ligament. During arthroscopy, meniscofemoral ligament may be confused for posterior cruciate ligament. So the orthopedic surgeon has to know, even if you are becoming an anatomist, now easily arthroscopy is done in it is available also. So you do an arthroscopy, you can see the total anatomy of the your knee joint. Now, division of joint cavity, menisci divides the knee joint cavity partially into two compartments, superior meniscofemoral and inferior meniscotibial compartment. Now, the meniscotibial compartment, meniscofemoral, the joint cavity is divided. Now, joint cavity, meniscofemoral compartment here, meniscofemur here, and meniscotibial compartment, this medial meniscus, capsular ligament in green and synovial membrane, red. Now, flexion and extension of the knee occurs in superior meniscofemoral compartment, whereas rotation of the knee takes place in the inferior compartment. So see, on rotation, now that is lower compartment. And flexion and extension is upper compartment. Menisci are found in knee, wrist and acromioclavicular joint. Now, sternoclavicular joint, temporomandibular joint. Now, where are the menisci present? You know these menisci are found in the knee, wrist, acromioclavicular joint, sternoclavicular joint and temporomandibular joint. All these joints, when you are studying, will be a separate. These type of 5 joints where the menisci are found. Now, clinical meniscal injuries, injuries of the menisci occur during twisting strains in slightly flexed knee. Now, if I am standing like this, in flexion like this, okay, suddenly someone calls, I twist, then it might injure the meniscus. Now, the injury involves detachment from capsular tears of the meniscus, longitudinal or transverse tears. The longitudinal tears are called bucket handle tear of meniscus, bucket handle tear of meniscus. Bursa around the knee, list of bursa to the knee are clinical significance. Now there are 12 bursas around the knee, 4 anterior, 4 lateral, 4 medial. Easy to remember. Bursa around the knee joint. 4 anterior, 4 posterior, 4 lateral. Now subcutaneous prepatellar bursa location is deep to the skin front of the lower half of the patella and upper half of the ligamentum patelli. Subcutaneous infrapatellar bursa location, it lies between the skin and ligamentum patelli. Suprapatellar bursa location, it lies between the anterior surface of the lower part of the femur and deep surface on the quadriceps femoris, which I discussed earlier. Now deep infrapatellar bursa location, it lies between the ligamentum patelli and tibial tuberosity. Lateral bursa, lateral gastrocnemius bursa location, it lies between the lateral head of the gastrocnemius and the joint capsule. Fibular bursa, it lies between the fibular collateral ligament and tendon of biceps femoris. Fibulopopliteal bursa, it lies between the fibular collateral and popliteus femoris. Subpopliteal bursa, it lies between the popliteus and lateral condyle of femur. Medial bursa, medial gastrocnemius or Brody's bursa, it lies between the medial head of the gastrocnemius and joint capsule. Anserine bursa, it lies between the tibial collateral ligament, pen anserus, conjoint insertion of sartorius, semitendinous and gracilis. All the bursas are there, because otherwise they won't move, they won't, this thing. It's a pad. It gives the gliding movement of the joint concerned, and here, see the beautiful picture. Suprapatellar bursa, prepatellar bursa, ligamentum patelli, pre-infrapatellar bursa, subcutaneous bursa. Now, this is the popliteal bursa. This is the Anserian bursa. See, semitendinous, gracilis, sartorius, pre-ansinus. See, that's why at the beginning of the talk, I told you, you just go on 6 or 10 pages, you just draw the diagrams, outline. And as you proceed reading, you start labeling, read labeling, see your tab or your electronic this thing, but don't spend time on a phone. It is better you see your book. Throughout the world, there is now thinking. In that day I saw in Facebook, 2 days in Germany, 2 days in Netherlands, Sweden, they are not using phone. They are reading books. Old is gold. Old is gold. And there is no shortcut. There is no shortcut. Now, see, housemaid's bursa. No knee is known as carpenter's bursa. Now see, clergyman's bursa. It is an infantile bursa, Christian priest. Now you see in the friction, say, Muslim community, they go for namaz. Okay, you see black. Even in, you see, you ask your housemaid if she is sweeping, not with a vacuum cleaner or modern gadgets, but she has to, you will see it becomes black and some this thing. Even in the, your medial lateral condyle, if say in a grocer shop who sits in your village or Kolkata's village that is having shops in by-lanes and lanes, the man, he sits and sees that constant pressure and friction that gives a black this thing. Now, these you see, this is the Baker cyst. This is the popliteal cyst. It is known as popliteal cyst. When you see a man comes or woman comes with a swelling in the back, in the popliteal, then you have to operate on it. According to the size, big, if it's big, then you have to size. This is the true picture of this. It's an easy operation. Though all vital nerves and vessels are going, popliteal artery, popliteal nerve, all these are on the popliteal fossa. You have to remove the fat a little bit. You make a lazy incision. It is not a make a lazy incision because if you go straight, then but if you do like this, S, then it extends. Sometimes if there is scarring, keloid, then it poses a problem in the later stage, after post-operatively. Post-operative is not immediate post-operative. With some time, it can become a keloid or something. And also if you make a lazy incision, more access. Length টা বেড়ে যাচ্ছে স্কিনটাকে তো সরাতে হবে you have to retract the skin to access the your now these are all repetitions. This is another picture. Relations of the knee joint, blood supply. See, knee joint receives blood supply through the arterial anastomosis around the knee joint. The following are the participate in the formation of anastomosis around the knee joint. You please go, you see the you will see a beautiful picture. In your textbook, you see the vessels are coming like that, red in red, like that, like that, like that. It's richly supplied, and these are the arteries, these 5 genicular branches of the popliteal artery. Formation anastomosis is around the knee joint, 5 genicular branches of the popliteal artery, descending genicular femoral artery, descending branch of the lateral circumflex artery, 2 recurrent branches of anterior tibial artery, circumflex fibular branch of the posterior tibial artery. This can be a question of 10 marks, illustrate, and the blood supply of the knee joint. Now, innervation, nerve supply, the following nerves supply the knee joint, femoral nerve through its branches to the vastus medialis, tibial nerve through genicular branches, common peroneal nerve through genicular branches, obturator nerve through a branch of posterior division. Now, all the nerves are going. You know the name, peroneal nerve, popliteal nerve. And this, you just, tibial nerve, common peroneal nerve, obturator nerve, femoral nerve. You just memorize like this. And what other nerve supply can be? You are knowing the major branches. Naturally, you have to remember that way. And the following movements that take place in the knee, movements of the knee joint: flexion and extension, conjunct movement, medial and lateral rotation. The movements of the knee and the muscles producing them are tabulation. See, these muscles, flexion, biceps femoris, semitendinous, semimembranous. Accessory muscles, popliteus, sartorius, gracilis, gastrocnemius, plantaris. Extension, quadriceps femoris, tensor fascia lata. Medial rotation of the flex leg, semitendinous. Lateral rotation of the leg, semimembranous. This is sartorius, gracilis, popliteus. Locking rotation of flex leg. Locking rotation of flex leg, biceps femoris, gluteus maximus, and tensor fascia lata. Locking of knee joint, vastus medialis. Unlocking of the knee joint, popliteus. Now, locking muscles, unlocking muscles. These are all small question, or it can be an MCQ. So, see, if you just picturize first, draw a figure, illustrate, and today's work, this is your homework I'm giving you. I've never given you a homework, but I have been telling you, but this is very, very important. Every part of the human body is important, but this is for your examinations. You have to know the lower limb joints and everything. Okay. See, this is your tibial tuberosity, lateral epicondyle of the femur, apex of the patella, and aspiration of the knee joint. You say hemoarthrosis, or you want to give some injections, so you have to locate. See, this is a terrible triad. It is a knee injury characterized by damage or tear of the cruciate ligament, medial collateral ligament, and medial meniscus. It is caused by lateral blow to the knee while the foot is fixed on the ground. Now, if I'm standing like this, I'm in your football, I'm playing football. If I'm standing like this, for the ball to come, suddenly the opponent, one in the right wing, the footballer kicks and I put a head or something like that. Suddenly the opposite team player, he comes and kicks me. Just so I fall, and then that's a possibility of getting an injury like this. Okay. Now, terrible triad, it's known as terrible triad. Arthroscopy of the knee joint, endoscopic visualization of the knee joint. It may be useful for repair of damaged cruciate ligament. Knee replacement. In severe damaged cases, knee requires treatment with knee replacement. It consists of fixation of artificial joint with plastic tibial and medial femoral components that is to be connected to the tibia and femur after removal of damaged zone of bone. Now, Atalji, you know, the Prime Minister, ex-Prime Minister, he had an operation. Now, that was a big story. The surgeon came from USA, but today in Rampurat, in Bolpur, Bardhaman, it is being done by young surgeons, even veteran surgeons. So, it is no more a story. It won't come in the headline. The Provost Banerjee got knee replacement. It won't become a story.